Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back with another video. Hope everyone's well wherever you are. For those who follow football or soccer or Calcio or whatever you want to call it, United Football Club, NUFC of course, which I'm sure they're very happy about, and I don't blame them for it. I don't really begrudge them, although I do kind of envy them. But apparently the company that took over Newcastle, or owns most of the shares in Newcastle, the P.I.F, Public Investment Fund from Saudi Arabia, are also thinking of buying Inter Milan, and they need clarity on whether a new stadium, which Inter Milan is planning to build. Both AC Milan and Inter Milan are trying to build new stadiums, and they want clarity on that. So before they invest, apparently. So according to what I've read, I hope my laptop doesn't run out of charge because it's quite low. Anyway, so I thought I'd make a quick video, hopefully quite quick, about apparently there's a new mayor of Milan, or maybe he just recently re-won the election. I'm not sure if he's actually just a new mayor or he's actually just re-won the election. But I was thinking that it would be great if he and other politicians for Milan, if both AC, maybe even like had a conference on encouraging investment in Milan, and Inter Milan had wealthy owners, as I've talked a bit about before. I know I do have a bit of a habit of repeating myself, but yeah, I think it'd be great if AC Milan and Inter Milan had the wealthiest owners possible, who were going to see that or if they get tax exemptions or cuts or losses or incentives, or whatever you call them, incentives, losses, cuts, or whatever you call them. Basically, I think incentives is probably the best word. So it's an incentive to invest, and they built like football academies, soccer academies, calcio academies, whatever you call them, for the young people in Milan. And I'd love that to happen across Italy as a fan of Italian football, as I mentioned before. And that would give people young people an opportunity to play football, get into football, practice as much as possible, and like encourage people to practice as much as possible, and like encourage them to have more chances. Some of the wealthiest investors, banks, sovereign wealth funds, sovereign wealth funds, and whoever else can invest, like say politicians, councillors, banks, sovereign wealth funds, Fortune 500 companies, big companies, investors, and basically as much investment as possible. I think would be pretty cool to see, especially investing in young players, or developing young players with like academies and giving them opportunities, maybe even both in Italy and overseas. Like I'd love AC Milan to have, while I'm on the topic of Milanese clubs, I'd love both AC Milan and Inter Milan. Maybe AC Milan could be the first club, because their colours are black and red, to I suppose normally Native Americans are sometimes referred to as red, which is normal, but maybe this could be made into a sort of a positive. Maybe somehow it could be turned into a positive somehow, by having by having football academies, and like they could be empowered in business and stuff like that. So hopefully somehow it can be turned into a positive thing. Well, that's a bit of a controversial idea, as many of my ideas are, but to have like football academies for indigenous people from across the Americas, First Nation or indigenous, or what do you call them, from across, in the politest possible way, from across the Americas, which will hopefully help them to get into football, but benefit Milan as well. So if they have those investments, they can afford to have those academies as well, which will hopefully in the future benefit AC Milan and other clubs across Italy. I hope that will especially benefit AC Milan in this case, mainly, but also other Italian teams and Celtic as well, in Glasgow, because in the future those players, if they're given opportunities to practice football, soccer, calcio, whatever you want to call it, then they will hopefully play for Italian teams in the future and be as loyal as possible. And also, especially if more money is invested in that, it'll benefit their families as well. So I'm hoping it'll be a mutual benefit. But that's a little bit of a side note. But yeah, so basically I think the new Milanese mayor should try and encourage investors to invest, especially in academies, not just buying overseas players, but also investing in training up young Italian players as well from Milan, and other mayors could do similar in other parts of Italy. But once Milan does that, well, hopefully other parts of Italy will catch on quicker than other countries, and develop, as I say, young players, as well as possibly buying a few quality overseas players who could train young players. But hopefully that'll benefit both the club teams and the national team. And hopefully Celtic FC will do similar stuff. As a fan of Celtic, I hope they'll do similar. And yeah, I thought I'd share that idea and see what our fellow